Great. One of the things I noticed in your report, because you've obviously put some insights and some commentary in there, is just reading from your report, you're encouraging sales leaders to introduce more scientific data-driven approach to sales force effectiveness. So what does that look like?
Gee, it's a brave new world, actually, this scientific approach to driving strong sales performance and revenue uplift. Look, no more, sales is no longer a dark art. It is clearly a scientific approach that's required to be able to assess and analyse and predict performance. With data analytics being such an enormous market, emerging and providing such value to organisations, the sales industry can absolutely leverage the tools available to them there. So best practice looks like, firstly, a couple of things. Okay. Understanding what good looks like for you. So tapping into the right sort of research and analytics to determine what best practice looks like for that particular, for instance, a sales role. Yep. What are the competencies and capabilities required in that role? And to do that, you need to think about your customer and the markets in which that salesperson is going to engage with. Sure. Because it needs, once again, it's a very customer-centric approach with lining up the sales team competency to the market in which you sell. So what
as opposed to applying a blanket rule across all industries that sell, tailoring it to your business and or industry.
That's right. I mean, as you can imagine, a sales team that's selling to, say, the professional services sector versus FMCG are going to be there's going to be a different level of skill set and knowledge and acumen that's going to be relevant to those industries. There'll certainly be a common set of behaviours that would align across both those industries. But so start with the customer, in which the market in which you're providing services to. Then map that best practice role profile. What does it look like? Dan and we get involved at a very detailed level and looking at what are the specific competencies that are going to really line up to create value, relate to and connect with our customers. Okay. So it's about assessing, first of all assessing what you need in the role, and then assessing what you currently have in your team, in your sales audience. Mm-hmm. So benchmarking what good looks like and then assessing against that. So we spend a lot of time in running assessment or development centres, so that the organiser across individual teams, large regional groups, and across entire organisations, so that the organisation can with pinpoint accuracy understand the bench strength that they have, see where the strengths in capability are, and importantly see where the gaps are across that team or that organisation. Of course, that then allows you, we call it assess, align, achieve. Yep. That then allows you to line up the development work that might need to be done to the business strategy. So,
and do you benchmark that against, say, the top 20% all have this in common, therefore we need to place a particular importance on that across the rest of the sales team, or that sort of benchmarking?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So organisations will benchmark a broad cross-section of their audience, and then they can correlate the data that comes through with performance. Yep. So we can really easily see that these behaviours lead to this type of performance. Great. So therefore, if we build more of these types of behaviours, recruit more of these behaviours, or develop more of these behaviours, then there's a high probability that we're going to see more of those strong results. And the same goes for the behaviours that are not contributing to a strong result. Sure. So it's about making sure we don't hire people that have those sorts of that sort of a skill set. And if we are going to take the risk, make sure that we're ready and prepared to develop those. Great.
So it's about hiring, obviously, the right talent and knowing what you're looking for. I think so many sales directors do hire still on gut feel, and I see that every day in what we do, and they're leaning on us for advice in this area. And so what we do is we work hard with the clients to develop a scorecard from which they're recruiting to, and look at situational and behavioural interviewing centred at that criteria. And that's through better understanding the selling environment before we articulate that document. So it seems as though there's an alignment there in terms of the way you guys are going about it as well, which is interesting. But what's falling short, I'm noticing, with sales directors is they've never really been trained on how to interview. and how to test for these particular skills.